Poor girl accidentally fell into billionaire CEO's arms. He made her his one true love forever. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Romance Rewind Stories. Before we dive into today's incredible story, I have a small favor to ask. If you're enjoying these heartwarming tales, please hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our latest uploads. It's quick, it's free, and it's the best way to support us in bringing you more emotional romance stories. And here's something I'd love to know. Where are you watching from today? Drop your city or country in the comments below. I always enjoy seeing our amazing community from around the world. Oh, and if this story touches your heart, don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps us grow and reach more people who love these kinds of tales. Now let's get into today's story. Poor girl accidentally fell into billionaire CEO's arms. He made her his one true love forever. The ladder wasn't stable to begin with. Clarity Monroe knew that. But when you're changing light bulbs in the lobby of a luxury office building for minimum wage at midnight, you work with the equipment provided, no matter how rickety. At 25, Clarity had made peace with her circumstances. She worked 3 jobs, night cleaning in office buildings, weekend shifts at a coffee shop, and afternoon hours at a bookstore, to pay for her community college classes and keep a roof over her head. It wasn't glamorous, but it was honest work. She was balanced precariously on the wobbly ladder, reaching for a burnt-out bulb in the 15-foot-high ceiling when the ladder shifted violently beneath her. Clarity didn't even have time to scream. 1 second she was reaching up, the next she was falling, the floor rushing up to meet her at a speed that promised serious injury. Then suddenly she wasn't falling anymore. Strong arms caught her mid-air, the impact knocking the breath from both of them. Clarity found herself pressed against a solid chest, held securely by someone who'd somehow appeared exactly where she needed them to be. "I've got you!" a deep voice said. "You're okay! I've got you!" Clarity's heart hammered as she looked up into the face of the man who'd caught her. He was probably late 30s, devastatingly handsome despite the late hour, with dark hair, sharp features, and eyes that were currently filled with concern. He wore an expensive suit, the kind that cost more than Clarity made in 3 months, and smelled like cedar and something expensive. "Are you all right?" he asked, still holding her like she weighed nothing. Yes, thank you. You can put me down now." He set her down carefully, his hands steadying her until he was certain she had her balance. "That ladder is a lawsuit waiting to happen. Are you hurt?" "No, just embarrassed, and grateful you were here. If you hadn't caught me—" Clarity didn't finish the sentence. They both knew she'd have hit that marble floor hard. "I'm glad I was working late. I'm Atlas Whitmore." Clarity's eyes widened. Atlas Whitmore. As in Whitmore Industries, the company that owned this building and about 30 others across the city. As in the billionaire CEO whose face occasionally appeared in business magazines. As in her ultimate boss, though so far removed from her pay grade, they might as well exist in different universes. "I know who you are," Clarity said quietly. "You own this building. I'm so sorry, Mr. Whitmore. I'll report the ladder to my supervisor. I should have been more careful. You should have been given safe equipment. What's your name?" "Clarity Monroe. I work for Summit Cleaning Services. We handle this building at night." "Well, Clarity Monroe, you're not using that ladder again. In fact—" Atlas pulled out his phone and made a call. "Marcus, it's Atlas. I need you to handle something immediately. The cleaning service using our buildings, I want an equipment audit done by tomorrow morning. Every ladder, every tool, everything. If it's not up to standard, it gets replaced. And I want proof that every worker has been properly trained on safety protocols. This is non-negotiable." He hung up and turned back to Clarity, who was staring at him in shock. "You didn't have to do that. I'm fine, really. You almost weren't fine. You could have broken your neck because someone decided saving money on equipment was more important than worker safety. That's unacceptable. Atlas paused, studying her face. Are you sure you're not hurt? No pain anywhere? I'm okay, just shaken up. And Mr. Whitmore, thank you for catching me, for caring about safety when most people wouldn't notice. I notice everything that happens in my buildings, including the fact that you're here alone at midnight with unsafe equipment. How much longer is your shift? Until 6 a.m. I have the lobby, all 15 floors of offices, and the executive suites. That's an absurd amount of work for one person. There are supposed to be 3 of us, but 2 called in sick. I'm covering. Clarity didn't mention that covering meant she wouldn't get paid extra. Summit Cleaning Services had made it clear that if she wanted to keep her job, she'd do what was necessary without complaint. Atlas's jaw tightened. I see. Well, you're not finishing this shift alone with broken equipment. Come with me. What? Mr. Whitmore, I can't just leave. You're not leaving. You're being reassigned temporarily. Come on. He led her to the elevator. His hand gentle on her elbow, he was afraid she might topple over again. They rode up to the top floor, the executive level where Clarity usually cleaned around 4 a.m. when she was certain nobody was there. Atlas led her to a massive corner office with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. The nameplate read, Atlas Whitmore, CEO. This is my office. I was working on quarterly reports and will be here for several more hours. You can clean this floor while I work. That way I can keep an eye on you. Make sure you don't fall off any more death trap ladders. You want to watch me clean? Clarity couldn't hide her confusion. I want to make sure you're safe. There's a difference. Also, he went to his desk and pulled out a business card, scribbling something on the back. This is my direct number. If Summit Cleaning Services retaliates against you for reporting unsafe equipment or tries to fire you for not completing an impossible workload alone, you call me immediately. Understood? Why are you being so nice to me? You caught me, you called about equipment, and now you're protecting my job. You don't even know me. I know you're working 3 jobs to pay for community college. I know you're willing to risk using a broken ladder rather than leave work undone. I know you work harder than most people I employ, despite making a fraction of what they make. That's all I need to know to want to help. He paused. Also, you literally fell into my arms. Fate might be telling us something. Despite everything, Clarity smiled. Are you flirting with me, Mr. Whitmore? Possibly. Is it working? I'm your employee. Technically several levels removed, but still, this is probably inappropriate. Then let me make it appropriate. Have breakfast with me when your shift ends. Not as employer and employee, but as 2 people who met because of a faulty ladder and terrible timing. Just breakfast. What do you say? Clarity knew she should say no. This was Atlas Whitmore. Billionaire CEO, so far out of her league they weren't even playing the same sport. But something about the way he looked at her, like she was interesting, valuable, worth his time, made her want to say yes. But somewhere normal people eat, not some fancy place with cloth napkins. Deal. I know a diner 3 blocks from here that makes excellent pancakes and terrible coffee. Meet you in the lobby at 6 a.m. It's a date. Or Atlas smiled. Genuinely smiled, and it transformed his entire face. I'll take it. Clarity spent the rest of her shift acutely aware of Atlas working in his office, occasionally glancing up from his computer to make sure she was okay. It should have been awkward, but instead it felt safe, like having someone watching her back for the first time in years. At 6 a.m. they met in the lobby as promised. Atlas had ditched his suit jacket and tie, looking more approachable in just his dress shirt and pants. They walked to the diner together as the city woke up around them. Over pancakes and terrible coffee, they talked. About everything, Clarity's dreams of becoming a teacher once she finished her degree, Atlas's journey from a poor kid in Detroit to billionaire CEO, the books they loved, the music they hated, the small moments that made life worth living. Why teaching? Atlas asked. You could aim for something more lucrative. Because my fourth grade teacher, Ms. Rodriguez, saw potential in me when nobody else did. I was the poor kid with the drunk father and the absent mother, wearing the same clothes 3 days in a row. Everyone else saw trash. She saw a smart kid who needed support. She's why I graduated high school, why I'm in college now. I want to be that person for other kids. That's beautiful. And Clarity, you're going to be an incredible teacher. How do you know? You just met me. Because you care more about making a difference than making money. That's exactly what kids need. Atlas paused. Can I ask you something personal? Sure. Your name, Clarity. That's unusual. My mother was a hippie before she became an addict. She named me Clarity because she said I was the one clear thing in her chaotic life. Then she disappeared when I was 8. Ironic, right? Naming your kid Clarity and then abandoning her in confusion. I'm sorry, that must have been incredibly hard. It was survival. My father drank himself to death when I was 17. I've been on my own since. Working, studying, trying to build something better. Some days I'm not sure I'm succeeding. Atlas reached across the table, covering her hand with his. You're succeeding. 3 jobs, college classes, determination to help kids like you were. That's success, Clarity. Maybe not the kind that shows up in bank accounts, but the kind that actually matters. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for falling into my arms. Best thing that's happened to me in years. They started dating after that breakfast, though dating felt almost too formal for what they were building. Atlas would show up at Clarity's coffee shop shifts and sit for hours reading, occasionally looking up to smile at her. She'd text him random thoughts at 3 a.m. during her cleaning shifts. They'd meet for breakfast after her overnight work, both exhausted but unwilling to miss the chance to see each other. People are talking, Clarity said one morning, 3 weeks into whatever they were doing. Your employees have noticed you spending time with the night cleaning girl. I've heard the whispers. Let them whisper. Clarity, I don't care what people think. Do you want me to care? No, but I care that you might face professional consequences for dating someone so far below your social class. You're not below anything. You're the hardest working person I know. You're brilliant, compassionate, and you make me laugh more than anyone I've ever met. If people have a problem with that, they can work somewhere else. You can't fire everyone who gossips about your love life. Watch me. Despite herself, Clarity laughed. You're ridiculous. I'm in love with you. There's a difference. Clarity's breath caught. What? I'm in love with you. Have been since you looked up at me from my arms, with those terrified eyes, and still managed to apologize for falling. Clarity, I've dated plenty of women, socialites, executives, people from my world. They were fine. Some were nice. But none of them made me feel the way you do. I'm actually alive instead of just going through the motions. I love you. Atlas. We've known each other 3 weeks, 22 days. And I've spent every available moment of those 22 days with you. I know your coffee order, your favorite book, the way you bite your lip when you're concentrating. I know you're terrified of heights, but went up that ladder anyway. I know you give more to strangers than most wealthy people give to family. I know you're the person I want to talk to at 3 a.m. and 3 p.m. and every moment in between. So yes, 22 days. And I'm in love with you. Clarity felt tears streaming down her face. I love you too, which terrifies me because I've never had anything this good and I'm waiting for it to fall apart. It won't. Clarity, I'm not your mother who abandoned you or your father who chose alcohol over you. I'm the man who caught you when you fell and wants to keep catching you for the rest of our lives. Let me. Okay. Yes, I love you. Atlas quit his job 4 months later. Clarity was working at the bookstore when he walked in looking lighter than she'd ever seen him and announced, I resigned as CEO this morning, promoted my COO to take over. I'm done. You quit your job? The job that makes you billions of dollars? I realized something these past 4 months with you. I've been CEO for 15 years. I'm exhausted, Clarity, burned out. I built the company, proved I could do it, made more money than I could spend in 10 lifetimes. And for what? To keep making more money I don't need, to keep missing life because I'm in meetings, to keep being the cold, distant billionaire instead of the person I actually want to be? What do you want to be? Your partner. Someone who supports your dreams instead of sacrificing them for work. Someone who has time to actually live. So I quit. I'll stay on the board, maintain ownership, but the day-to-day. Someone else's problem now. Atlas, you can't quit your career for me. I'm not quitting for you. I'm quitting for us, for the life we could build if I wasn't married to a job that takes everything. Clarity, I want to support you finishing your degree. I want to be there when you student teach. I want time to actually build something that matters, not another $1 billion, but a life together. Is that okay? Yes, that's more than okay. He proposed 6 months later. Not at a fancy restaurant or exotic location, but at the same diner where they'd had their first breakfast. He got down on one knee beside their booth and said, "Clarity Monroe, you fell into my arms and changed my entire life. You showed me what actually matters, not money or status or corporate success, but connection and compassion and building something real together. Will you marry me?" "Yes, absolutely yes." They married in a simple ceremony at the community college where Clarity was finishing her teaching degree. Her classmates attended, along with Atlas's small family and close friends. Nothing ostentatious, nothing for show, just two people promising to build a life together. During the vows, Atlas said, "Clarity, the best decision I ever made was working late that night. The second best was catching you when you fell. You changed everything, showed me that wealth isn't measured in bank accounts, but in moments that matter, in love freely given, in choosing people over profit. Thank you for falling. Thank you for staying. Thank you for loving me." "Thank you," Clarity replied, "for catching me. Not just that night, but every day since. For seeing value in a minimum wage cleaning girl, when you could have any woman in the world. For loving me not despite my struggles, but because they made me who I am. For quitting a job you loved to support dreams you believed in. You caught me when I was falling, Atlas, and I'm never letting go." 5 years later, Clarity stood in her own 4th grade classroom, watching her students file in for the first day of school. Several were clearly the kids others overlooked. Wrong clothes, tired eyes, protective shells built from too much hardship too young. She saw herself in every single one of them. Atlas appeared at her classroom door during lunch, bringing coffee and wearing jeans and a sweater because he'd fully embraced the retired billionaire turned supportive spouse life. "How's the first day?" he asked. "Perfect. Terrifying. Everything I hoped for. Atlas, there's a girl in my class. She wore the same dress yesterday at orientation and today. I saw her putting a granola bar in her backpack like she was saving it. She's me 10 years ago. Then she's lucky to have you as a teacher. You'll be her Ms. Rodriguez. I hope so. I'm going to try. That's all anyone can do. Try." He kissed her forehead. "Love you. Call me if you need anything. Love you too. Thanks for catching me. Always. That's my job. Catching you when you fall and watching you fly when you don't need catching anymore. Because sometimes falling into someone's arms is the beginning of everything. Sometimes the person who catches you sees not just who you are, but who you could become with support. And sometimes a broken ladder and terrible timing lead to the kind of love that transforms two lives, proving that the best things happen when you're willing to fall and brave enough to let someone catch you. And that's where our story ends today. What did you think? Did Atlas and Clarity's story of falling and being caught touch your heart? Let us know in the comments what your favorite moment was. If you enjoyed this story, we have so many more waiting for you. Check out our playlist for more heartwarming romance tales that will make you believe in love all over again. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and give us a thumbs up. Your support means everything to us. Until next time, keep believing in love, keep believing in second chances, and remember, The best stories are the ones that remind us we all deserve our happily ever after. See you in the next story.